good plan together and a team together, you can go make it happen. But it takes capital. You have to have capital too. Let's be real. You gotta have some type of capital. There's still no there's still no major labels here. But there's indie major labels that coexist out here. And now the major labels have to run down here and they try to sign up everything.
So would y'all, I remember reading past features where music execs would be I hope they never move out of Atlanta. Is that the case? Do you
Nah, man, we just bought a facility. We about to turn this shit up. Seriously.
What sort of facility are we talking about?
I mean, it's basically gonna be a multimedia facility, film, television, sports management, music. We about to build a real industrial infrastructure here, man. Something that people can say this is their home. Quality control is here. It's pretty messed up that artists from the South. It's hard, like I said, it takes capital, but to move, and as soon as you get popping, you got to run to New York or LA for these to these blogs, or to get noticed, or to television, late night television, or some form of marketing promotion. You have to run to these different places. Why do we don't have an infrastructure here? So me and my partner took it upon ourselves. We're gonna build that infrastructure here. So the right publicity is here. So the right blogs is here. So the right podcasts are here. So they don't have to run here and there. We're gonna have that facility here.
I don't remember reading about that.
Nah, because to be honest, I'm talking too much now. But it's happening. It's happening right now.
Okay.
It's happening right now.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right.
But it's no other place to share it but home. No, we're right here in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, we appreciate that so much.
Hopefully our facility is big enough. We're gonna be able to employ a couple hundred people.
Okay.
It's real.
You're a job creator out here.
Of course.
I love that. I wanted to understand a little bit more about how you've kind of honed your sensibilities as a music executive, and just overall somebody who's played such an integral role in pop culture today. I guess the first thing is that I noticed whether it was with Gucci Mane or whether it was with Migos or whether it was City Girls, what has been key? What is the role of a manager when they are incarcerated or when they do have to serve time? Because you feel there's still some momentum that has to be built up.
Say for instance, with City Girls, right? They're in a group. JT was gone for 16 months, but you couldn't even tell.
Right.
And we kind of strategized. Even when Young Miami did features, it said featuring City Girls. And we did that so because she is in a group, and the moment you start separating them two, you don't have a group anymore. You know what I'm saying? And we still have to represent for JT. Her presence has to be felt. So it's we knew when we signed City Girls. I remember our first meeting. JT, she was scared to tell me, and she called me that night. And she's like, Coach, there's something I gotta tell you. I said, baby, you ain't gotta tell me nothing. I said, I know you got a federal case. You think I ain't done my research? I said, but we're gonna help you. I believe in you. We're gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna walk it down with you. And we put a plan together, and it worked.
Was that plan based on past experience? Because I remember when Gucci was establishing himself as Trap God, you couldn't tell he was gone.
Man, listen, man. Yes, it was our past experience. My partner was looking at me like I was crazy. But I'm glad you said that. I knew how to do that from past experience, man. Like Gucci Burprint 2 mixtape, he was locked up the whole time. Me and Drummer Boy got all those features and basically took verses and reconstructed the whole project to make it seem like he was right here on the streets. You know what I mean? I mean, like, especially today with the internet, if you can kind of prepare, like Gucci knew he was about to go to jail, so we shot 8 videos in like a week's time, you know what I'm saying? So we had the content, we stretched the content out, and we had the music. He was a work dog. Same with City Girls. You know, when the judge granted JT 6 months, he said, I'm gonna give you 6 months, and you gotta turn yourself in 2 days after BET Awards, right? And she worked her ass off, and we shot videos, and we recorded records, and while she was gone, you know, we just, you know, we put it out over that time, so it felt like her presence was still there.
For sure. When it comes to artists, you've often said that, you know, artists, they need to be like strong brands, and there's a testament to that would be like City Girls, the fact that they had like what, 2 songs out by the time that you got to them, or like
they had one record.
They had one record.
They had one when we got them. They had one record, and they had a remix. That's it.
Okay, and then as far as like Lil Baby, it was like you looked at him and you knew that he needed a rap, even though he didn't see
Most
that in and of
definitely.
itself. So I guess I'm just wondering like how, like for
know,
those
man.
who
It's I'll be honest, that's a mystery. I guess you can explain it, but you can't explain it. But everybody has a certain talent, right? And I feel like the creator, that's a talent that he just blessed me with, where I can see it, because it's more of a gut feeling. Like I can see, like with Lil Baby, he reminded me of someone. And we just had this conversation 2 days ago. He reminded me of Jeezy. When I met Jeezy, he didn't rap for real, but I seen something in him, and I was able to bring it out of him. And when I met Lil Baby, it was the same way. I was like, damn, dog, you are the epitome of Atlanta street cat. Your voice texture is crazy, your tone, man, you should rap. And he looked at me crazy. But now look at him. But the thing is, his work ethic, he took, you know, he wasn't confident at first. You know, it took a lot, you know, but now he's very confident. His work ethic, practice, sports. You know, repetition, you know, working on that move work on that move so much that when you're in the game, you do the move, it just becomes a part of you. You don't even think about it. You know what I mean? And that's where he is now. Like the music he's making, man, I can't wait till y'all hear this new album. It's incredible.
When's that supposed to come out?
I mean, it's coming.
Okay. I had to try. I'm curious, when you know, it's fitting that in talking about the beginning of your music career, you're talking about being an A&R or whatever, because now I feel like artist development is essentially how QC sort of sets himself apart. They're able to find these diamonds in the rough, and then like from there, like you sort of mold and craft them, you know, through these releases and things like that. I guess I was just wondering, like, was there a particular moment where, in working in this industry, you looked up and you started to notice that, like, hey, people aren't doing this shit anymore, and this is how we can set ourselves apart?
I mean, honestly, I didn't know no other way, because that's the way that I was raised in it, and that was the way I was taught, and that was the way I learned. So I wasn't going. I've had success, you know, and we've had success. Why change it? You know what I mean? And when people were running away from artist development, I felt like that was our opportunity to like shine. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these labels they chase numbers. It's a numbers game with them, but they ain't building brands. You know what I'm saying? And brands last longer than songs. You know what I mean? And I tell every artist when we sign them, I was like, I'm real with them. I'm like, listen, you have an expiration date on yourself as an artist. Let's turn you into a brand, because within that, with being an artist now with music touches everything. You know, whether it's fashion, whether it's Fortune 500 companies. Like, if there's things that you can think about and you touch these people sonically, we can take that and create that into something else outside of music.
Okay, got you. And then another thing I noticed, this is kind of a nerdy question, but I'm thinking about how you advise city girls to cover like "I'll Take Your Man" by Salt and Peppa.
Yeah.
Like, and we all saw how big of a hit that became. And I noticed that, like, Leighton Green, the R&B singer, newest signee to QC, like, her song is essentially like interpolating the Sierra and 50 Cent record.
Sure.
So I was wondering, like, has that now become part of like a strategy where you're sort of guarding cross, like, you know, multi-generational appeal?
Yeah, I mean, with the City Girls, it was, I mean, Salt and Pepper was a supergroup, and we haven't seen a female supergroup in a minute. So I felt like it was perfect that, and it was strategic, you know, because it's like, okay, let's take this song, and I know I got to go to radio, and this sounds wild, but a lot of the program directors are older in these stations, and the moment you play like something that they remember, kind of from their childhood, I'm giving y'all some game right now, some strategic game. How I think, right? It's like, okay, let me take this old record that's familiar, this beat, with their new style, put it together on there. Where these program records, they might not even listen to the rap, because most of the time, you know, the beat is what grabs you first, right? You hear the beat, you're like, oh, then you listen. I'm like, okay, give them this familiar beat with this girl's style on it. I know this is gonna work. Boom, it happened. With Leighton Green, when I found her, she had 240 million views on YouTube from covers. So her first single was like, oh, let's give her a sample, right? And let's splash her. You know, we got some hot artists on our label. It's young, you know what I'm saying? And let's make this thing a moment.
Yeah.
But then if you listen to her project, it's all original.
Right. That just serves as like an introduction to get
Exactly.
you interested.
Yeah.
Okay. That totally makes sense. So the way that QC has diversified, like, we've now come to a period where it's like, okay, we've seen how y'all combine Atlanta for talent, and then with City Girls being out of Miami, how you combine the South for talent. Stefflon Don over in London,
Yeah.
you know, you're starting to scour the world. I was just wondering, like, I guess, are there other areas in music or different subgenres that y'all are interested in, sort of, you know?
I mean, we're interested in all, man. It's at this moment, you know, music's global now. And I traveled a lot this past year, just going into different territories, right? Just to see what's going on. And it's pretty much basically, in every territory, it's the same thing that's going on in Atlanta. It's just language barriers, you know what I mean? So you may look up, we're gonna have Afrobeat, you know, we might have a French artist, you know, we might have a German artist. I mean, we're gonna have a Latin artist. I mean, it's global music now, and you know, we're gonna turn our brand into a global brand.
In researching past interviews with you, I thought it was interesting that at least in 2015, you weren't too sure like whether trap was going to continue to like stay hip or not. You're like, oh, maybe it'll be under another name, maybe there'll still be street rap, but you weren't too entirely sure. And now in the year of our Lord 2019, I mean, there's no, I guess I was just, what do you make of trap's continued impact on like the current landscape, to where even from just like a production standpoint, like you're hearing it in K-pop? So
I mean, it's probably one of the most influential music now, you know. You know, at that time, I said that I feel like at some point, some things, they start transitioning and come to an end. But what happened was it just got younger and younger. In 2015, you know, the people that were here, you know, 5 years later, the music just got younger. So, and I give, you know, I can attest, I give all that to like social media now. You know, the phones wasn't too, you had access, but it wasn't, you didn't have access. You know what I'm saying? And now these kids, they got access. So it's like, it's just getting younger and younger. And I feel like it's probably won't go anywhere now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would have to, something would have to just drastically for it, but I don't think it'll change. Okay. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Okay, got you. And then I know Lil Yachty was recently in How High 2, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, what other possibilities do you see in film? Like, what?
Oh, we got. I mean, we got a lot of film and television stuff going on right now. Okay. A whole lot. And you know, shit. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys out there know Georgia right now is the #1 in the world in film production in the world. So we about to get our hands and feet really dirty. You know, I told you we building a crazy facility here.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's all part of it.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to see that. I got a couple of questions left just from folks that you may know. And then after these questions, we'll be taking audience questions. But,
okay.
you know, before that, I got one from Nick Love, who
That's my brother.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, like, he was working with you during the time of Jeezy.
Yeah, I hired him to do promo.
Yeah, exactly. He was so curious. He was like, since I've known Coach, everything he's seemed to have had some level of success. Are there any artists or deals that just didn't work for whatever reason?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like with anything. We all have, in this business, it's peaks and valleys, you know? But it's wild. People only see the good, you know? And you know what I mean? It's like, I always tell artists, it's like, no one ever sees the work you put in, they only see the videos. You know what I mean? I've had artists that didn't work. That's how I learned. It's the only way you can learn, you know. It really wasn't no book that really taught me how to do this. It was, I just put my head down and put the work in. So, you know, I think I've had artists that didn't work because maybe it was before its time where I was thinking just really outside the box. You know, sometimes I'm like that. Like I'll think really, really forward, right? And it just at that time it didn't happen. And then I look up and like, it's happening now. And I'm like, damn.
Like their moment didn't come.
Their moment didn't come right
Okay.
then. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, I've had things that didn't work. I have, and you know, that's like I said, when you make, I hate saying mistakes because I don't feel like they're mistakes. I just feel like they're learning lessons. But those are the moments that you learn from. You know what I mean?
Well, you're going to really love Daniel's question then. We were talking earlier, Daniel with Heroes and Villains, he asked, how had a failure or an apparent failure, a teaching moment that you were talking about, set you up for later success? Do you have a favorite failure of yours, and what did you learn from it that you applied later to something that became successful?
Damn, Daniel. Damn, that's a tough one. Can you repeat that?
Absolutely. How has a failure or an apparent failure set you up for later success? Do you have a favorite failure of yours, and what did you learn from it that you applied later to something that became successful?
Okay. So when I first got in the game, I'm very passionate. A lot of people know that about me. And I ain't gonna say no names because you guys will probably pick up. But I was working with one artist and I believed in him so much that I put so much energy into them that I couldn't see nothing going on around me. And I had all these artists come to me like, damn, dude, you the shit. Will you manage me too? And I would turn them down, right? And what I learned from that is I shouldn't have turned them down. But what I should have did was, you know, there's talent out here. Bring that talent in and have them work for you, right? Or you guys work together and you share your talent with them. That way, I wouldn't have missed all that talent. Because there's some really big artists out here that was missed, that I kicked myself in the ass for. But yeah, that's I wouldn't do it like that anymore.
Okay.
And that's why I think we've been so successful with QC, because we've been able to break, since we've been in business 7 years, we've been able to break an artist every year, right? And if we would have been so caught up in just one artist, we wouldn't have seen all that out there. So that's one of the learning things I learned. Like, you know, open your eyes. Don't get me wrong, don't spread yourself thin where it's, you know, you just can't handle it. But if you can handle it, you know, take it in.
And then I have one final question from Ethiopia. I have to marry him.
Oh, man.
President of Motown Records. For those who don't know, they brokered the joint partnership between Motown and QC,
That's
right?
my sister for life.
She asked, when you look at the next 10, 20 years, what would you say is the most important to you in achieving both personally and professionally?
One of the most important things to me and is it being able to take these artists, man, when you meet them, and changing their lives, you know, and putting them in a position where they can change the lives of the people around them. That's one of the best feelings in the world. I don't care about awards. I don't, you know, it's just, it means so much. Cause you know, a lot of artists, you know, shit, we don't come from shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so when you know, you see something in them, you're able to bring it out, and it changes everything around them. You know what I'm saying? And then they able to change. They able to provide and a lifestyle, or just change the lives of the people around them. To me, that's the reward.